The reservation was for 7 o'clock at Riverside Manor, the upscale restaurant where my family had been holding their monthly dinners for the past 3 years. I arrived at 7:15 with my 5-year-old daughter Emma, her hand tucked safely in mine as we walked through the elegant entrance. The building itself was beautiful. A converted Victorian mansion with crystal chandeliers and polished marble floors that reflected the warm lighting. The hostess smiled warmly. "Good evening, Miss Peterson. Your party is already seated in the private dining room." I nodded my thanks and guided Emma through the main dining area, past tables filled with well-dressed diners enjoying their meals. The sounds of quiet conversation and clinking silverware created a sophisticated atmosphere. She wore her favorite blue dress, the one with small flowers embroidered on the collar. I'd braided her hair carefully that afternoon, spending extra time to make sure every strand was perfect, wanting her to feel special for what I'd hoped would be a nice family evening. She'd been so excited in the car, asking if Grandma would like her dress and if Grandpa would tell her stories like he used to when she was smaller. The moment we entered the private room, I felt the temperature drop. My mother looked up from her wine glass, her expression shifting from pleasant to cold in an instant. My father continued cutting his steak. My brother Marcus and his wife Jennifer exchanged glances. My sister Ashley actually rolled her eyes. "Oh," Mom said, her voice dripping with displeasure. "I didn't realize you were bringing her." Emma's hand tightened around mine. At 5 years old, she could already read a room better than most adults. "Hello, everyone," I said calmly, pulling out a chair. "Sorry we're a bit late. Traffic was heavy." "We were having such a perfect evening," Mom continued, not bothering to lower her voice. "Why did you bring her?" Emma looked up at me, her brown eyes beginning to water. "Mommy, are we not wanted?" The question hung in the air like smoke. No one at the table contradicted it. My father continued eating. Marcus suddenly found his phone very interesting. Ashley smirked into her napkin. I took a slow breath, keeping my voice steady. "We're leaving." "Don't be so dramatic," Mom said, waving her hand dismissively. "Sit down. We already ordered appetizers for the table." "No thank you." I helped Emma with her coat, my hands perfectly steady even as my heart pounded. "Enjoy your dinner. This is exactly why we can't include you in family events," Ashley said, her voice sharp. "You're always so sensitive. It was just a question." Jennifer added, "We're just being honest. Some dinners are meant for adults. Children can be disruptive." Emma's face crumpled. She was the only grandchild in the family, the only child at these gatherings, and she'd just been told she was disruptive by the people who were supposed to love her. "Goodbye," I said simply and walked out with my daughter. In the car, Emma was quiet for a long moment. Then she asked, "Don't they love us?" "Some people show love differently," I told her, which wasn't really an answer, but it was all I could manage without crying myself. I drove us to a diner 20 minutes away where Emma ordered chocolate chip pancakes for dinner because, why not? While she ate, I made a phone call. "David, it's me," I said to my attorney. "I need you to draft something tonight." Back at the restaurant, my family was apparently having a wonderful time without us. According to the text my brother sent me later that night, trying to smooth things over, they'd ordered the full tasting menu and split 3 bottles of wine. Mom had laughed more than she had in months, he said. Everyone agreed it was much more relaxed without a child present. I didn't respond to the text. What they didn't know was that I'd been patient for a very long time. 3 years ago, when the original owner of Riverside Manor decided to sell, I'd made an offer through a private investment company I'd established after my divorce settlement. The settlement had been substantial. My ex-husband's family owned a chain of luxury hotels across the Northeast, and when we split after only 18 months of marriage, I'd received enough money to make some very strategic investments. His family valued discretion highly, especially given some business practices they preferred to keep private. My silence had been expensive for them and profitable for me. Nobody in my family knew about the divorce settlement amount. They assumed I'd gotten barely anything because I'd kept working my regular job as a marketing consultant, maintaining the same modest apartment and driving the same reliable but unimpressive car. They assumed I was struggling as a single mother, counting pennies and worrying about Emma's future. They assumed I was the family failure who'd married poorly and divorced quickly. Another disappointment to add to their long list of my shortcomings. They had no idea I owned 4 commercial properties in the city, including the restaurant where they held their precious monthly dinners. The manager of Riverside Manor was a professional named Thomas who'd worked in high-end hospitality for 20 years. When I purchased the property, I kept all the existing staff and told Thomas to run things exactly as he always had. The only thing I asked was that he never mention my ownership to anyone, especially anyone named Peterson. Just let me know if my family ever causes any problems, I told him during our first meeting. Tonight qualified as a problem. At 9:30 p.m., while my daughter slept peacefully in her bed at home, I sent Thomas a brief email with clear instructions. He responded within 5 minutes, confirming he understood. The next morning, my phone started ringing at 8 o'clock. It was my mother. "What did you do?" she demanded without preamble. "Good morning, Mom. I'm well, thank you for asking. Don't play games with me. We just received a letter from Riverside Manor. They're saying our standing reservation has been cancelled. They're saying we're no longer welcome at the restaurant." "What did you do?" I took a sip of my coffee, watching Emma color at the kitchen table. "I didn't do anything. Perhaps they have standards about how guests treat other guests. This is ridiculous. Your father is calling his attorney. We've been loyal customers for 3 years. They can't just ban us. Actually, private establishments can refuse service to anyone for any reason, as long as it's not based on protected characteristics. Being rude to children isn't a protected characteristic. We weren't rude. We were honest. And who are you to lecture us about restaurants? You probably complained to some minimum wage manager who doesn't understand how things work." "If you say so, Mom." She hung up on me. 20 minutes later, Marcus called. "What's going on?" "Dad is losing his mind. He's threatening to sue the restaurant. Mom's been on the phone with her friends all morning trying to find a new place for next month's dinner. This is a disaster." "That's between Dad and the restaurant," I said calmly. "I have nothing to do with their business decisions. Come on. This happened right after you left. What did you say to them? Did you complain to the manager? Did you threaten them somehow?" "I said goodbye and thank you. That's all. Dad says this is going to embarrass him professionally. He brings clients there. Important clients. He had a business dinner scheduled there next week and now he has to cancel and explain why. Do you know how that looks? Then perhaps he should have thought about that before allowing his granddaughter to be humiliated. She's 5. She'll forget about it tomorrow. Kids are resilient. She probably doesn't even remember what happened. I won't. And yes, she remembers. She cried herself to sleep last night asking why Grandma doesn't like her." Marcus sighed heavily. "You're overreacting. Mom had a bit too much wine and said something without thinking. It happens. Can't you just apologize so we can fix this?" "Apologize for what exactly?" "For whatever you said to get us banned." I hung up on him. By noon, Ashley was texting me in all capitals, calling me petty and vindictive. I blocked her number. My father called at 2 o'clock from his office, using his stern attorney voice. "I've spoken with the restaurant ownership group," he said. "They're claiming you filed some kind of complaint about discrimination." "I didn't file anything," I said honestly. "I don't need to file complaints." "Then why are they refusing to reinstate our reservation? I've been a customer there for 3 years. I've spent thousands of dollars. Have you considered that maybe they don't want customers who insult children in their establishment? This is absurd. Over one small comment? Your mother barely said anything. She said enough. I want you to call them and straighten this out." "No." "Excuse me." I said, "No, Dad. I'm not calling anyone. You and Mom created this situation. You can resolve it yourselves. You're being childish. I'm being a mother. There's a difference." He hung up without another word. That evening, Jennifer called. Unlike the others, she actually sounded somewhat apologetic. "I know last night got out of hand," she said carefully. "Maybe we could all sit down and talk about it like adults? What would you like to talk about?" "About finding a compromise. The restaurant was important to your parents. Maybe there's a way to smooth things over." "Why would I want to do that?" "Because they're your family. Because Emma will grow up with these people in her life. Because holding grudges doesn't help anyone." Jennifer, my daughter, asked me if her own family loved her. She's 5 years old and she had to ask me that question because her grandmother couldn't be bothered to be kind for one evening. I'm not holding a grudge. I'm protecting my child. From her own grandparents? If necessary, yes. She was quiet for a moment. Marcus says your dad is going to find out who owns the restaurant and pressure them to change their mind. He's welcome to try. What does that mean? It means good luck to him. I hung up and blocked her number too. 3 days later, my father called again. His voice was different this time, flat, shocked. You own it. Own what, Dad? The restaurant. You own Riverside Manor. I had my firm do a property search. The ownership is buried under 3 different corporate entities, but we traced it back to you. I didn't confirm or deny. I just waited. For 3 years, he continued, we've been eating at your restaurant, spending our money at your business. And you never said a word. You never asked. How is this possible? Where did you get that kind of money? My divorce settlement. Turns out my ex-husband's family valued discretion quite highly. They paid very well for it. And you used it to buy restaurants? That and other commercial properties. I've been building an investment portfolio. It's been quite successful. The silence stretched out. Your mother is mortified, he finally said. She should be. She insulted her granddaughter in an establishment I own. Not her wisest moment. So what now? You've banned your own family from your restaurant. You banned yourselves, Dad. I own the building. I don't manage the daily operations. But I do get reports when customers behave poorly. The manager made the decision based on how you all treated Emma. I simply didn't override it. This is vindictive. This is business. Riverside Manor has a reputation for being a family-friendly establishment that maintains high standards of civility. Customers who can't meet those standards aren't welcome. Even if they're related to me. We're your parents. And Emma is your granddaughter. You made your choice about who matters to you. I'm making mine. What do you want? An apology. I don't want anything from you, Dad. I wanted you to love your granddaughter without conditions. I wanted one family dinner where my daughter felt welcome. Those things clearly aren't possible, so I've adjusted my expectations accordingly. Another long silence. The others don't know, he said quietly. About you owning it. They just think the restaurant sided with you. You can tell them or not. That's your choice. If I tell them, your mother will never speak to you again. She wasn't speaking to Emma with much kindness anyway, so I'm not sure what I'm losing. He hung up without saying goodbye. That night, I received a text from my mother. Just 3 words, you've changed. I wrote back, no. I've just stopped pretending that being family excuses bad behavior. She didn't respond. 2 weeks later, I received a formal letter from my father's law firm. They were requesting that I reconsider the ban from Riverside Manor, citing the family relationship and their history as valued customers. I had my attorney send back a formal response. The establishment's decision stands. All customers are expected to treat staff and other guests with respect. This includes treating children with basic courtesy. When the Peterson family can demonstrate a consistent ability to meet these standards, their case can be reconsidered. I never heard from them again. Emma asks about her grandparents sometimes. I tell her they're busy with their own lives, which is true enough. She stopped asking if they love her, which breaks my heart in a different way. But she knows without question that I love her. That I will always choose her. That she will never have to wonder if she's wanted when I'm around. Last month, I took her back to Riverside Manor for dinner. Thomas seated us at the best table and brought Emma a special dessert. She beamed the entire evening, chattering about her kindergarten class and her new friend and the book we'd been reading together. As we left, she said, I like this restaurant, Mommy. Everyone here is nice. Yes, I agreed. They are. Some people might say I overreacted. That I should have forgiven my family and moved on. That blood is thicker than water and family drama isn't worth holding grudges over. Those people have never watched their 5-year-old daughter's face crumple as her own grandmother questions why she exists in the same room. I didn't ban my family from a restaurant out of spite. I simply stopped protecting them from the consequences of their own choices. They chose cruelty. The restaurant chose standards. I chose my daughter. And I would make that choice again every single time.